Hey guys, welcome to today's video. In today's video, we'll discuss about the Daivi Sampat and Asuri Sampat of a human being. So, in Vedic terminology, Daiva and Asura indicates the qualities that are the expansion of the original three gunas, like Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So the idea is that some specific superhuman beings come to be called as devas, and some are called as asuras. So we will discuss about what are the qualities. So the some word sampad means the characteristics. So it is important to understand that such devas and asuras are separate individual atmas who are only responsible for their own behavior and not for the behavior of human beings. Both the divine and demonic natures are merely combination of the neutral energies of the supreme. Taking birth in a human body constitutes an intermediate position between devas and asuras because it enables us to choose in either direction, and therefore we will then become a deva or asura personal individually. So the definition of Daivi Sampat. So the Daivi Sampat is the term that refers to the 26 virtues listed in the Bhagavad Gita that the sadhaka strive for in their quest to become enlightening beings. The term comes from Sanskrit. Daivi means divine, and Sampat meaning wealth or perfection. So, according to Bhagavad Gita, there are two categories of mental traits like Daivi Sampat and Asuri Sampat, which translates as the devilish quality or demonical wealth. So, Asuri Sampat is an impediment to spiritual growth and a spiritual life. Daivi Sampat is required for a spiritual life and self realization. So Daivi Sampat, the average person has both Daivi Sampat and Asuri Sampat, but the yogi on the path to moksha shades the Asuri Sampat, because the only way to moksha and liberation from the cycle of reincarnation is to embrace the Daivi Sampat. So Daivi Sampat is described as three different categories. So the first verse is fearlessness, purity of heart, devotion to knowledge through the path of yoga, charity, self-restraint, sacrifice, study of oneself and scriptures, austerity, and straightforwardness or rectitude. And second verse, harmlessness, truth, lack of anger, renunciation, absence of fault finding, compassion, non covetousness, gentleness, modesty, and steadiness. And third verse, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, and patience, purity of mind and body, lack of malice, and absence of excessive pride. So these are the qualities of Daivi Sampat. So the Asuri, let's go to the Asuri Sampat. So Asuri Sampat is a term that refers to the evil qualities or tendencies within a person that are impediments to a spiritual life and spiritual growth. The term comes from the Sanskrit word Asuri, which means war, and the Sampad, which means to rush together, as well as wealth and perfection. It is typically translated as a demonical wealth or devilish qualities. In Bhagavad Gita, divides all the mental traits into two categories, one being Asuri Sampad and other its opposite Daivi Sampad, called virtue or for divine wealth. So Asuri Sampad is are the people who entertain delusional desires, engage in delusional activities, and are delusionally convinced of their knowledge but are confused by incorrect awareness, certainly take shelter in the bewildering nature of Rakshasas. Um, and Asuri Sampat, they have neither purity nor truth. They don't understand the right principles of conduct. They say the universe is an accident with no purpose and no God. Life is created by sexual union, a product of lust and nothing else. Thinking thus, these degraded souls, these are the enemies of mankind, whose intelligence is negligible and whose deeds are monstrous, come into the world only to destroy, giving themselves off to insatiable passions, hypocritical, self sufficient, and arrogant, cherishing false conception founded on delusion. They work only to carry out their own unholy purposes, poring anxiously over evil resolutions which only end in death, seeking only the gratification of desire as the highest goal, seeking nothing beyond giving themselves off to insatiable passions, hypocritical, self sufficient, and arrogant, cherishing false conception founded on delusion. They work only to carry out their own unholy purposes. So these are the qualities of Asuri Sampat. So yeah, so these are the qualities of humans, mostly Asuri Sampat and Daivi Sampat. So both qualities have in all human beings, but we have to increase our Daivi Sampat in our life, because Asuri Sampat leads to destructions. In this world, three gates lead to hell: the gates of passion, anger, and greed. Released from these three qualities, one can succeed in attaining salvation and reaching the highest goal, namely God. Thus, the sacred scriptures teach wisely the right path of pure, virtuous living. One should therefore follow the injunctions of the sacred scriptures that wish his welfare and be guided in his actions by their noble teachings. So I hope this video is helpful to you. See you in the next video in another topic.